Experienced some difficulty with our sound system up here. We hope to have remedied that. Thank you. Griffin Crockett, number 79, Will Vaughn, and number 80, Tanner Weiler. It'll be 3rd and 6 for the Trojans. Coleman back to pass, tackled deep in his own backfield. Number 7 with the tackle. That is Thomas O'Brien. It'll be 4th and 16 for the Trojans. In the punt for Potosi, number 8, Bubba Henson. Ball takes a Trojan bounce and is downed on the 25-yard line by number 6, Jeffrey Howard. Number 5, Gavin Pinson. 1st and 10 for St. Genevieve. Handoff to St. Genevieve's number 42, Austin McBride.
Check one.
Left side of the Trojan line there to meet him. 2nd and 8 for St. Genevieve. Pass to number 11, Noah Burr. Good enough for a St. Genevieve first down at their own 37-yard line. Another St. Genevieve first down, ball in Trojan territory at the 48-yard line. Taken to the line, pass intended for number 11, Noah Burr. Pass is incomplete, 2nd and 10 now for the Dragons. Once again, carry by number 42, Austin McBride. We got a couple of flags down on the play.
Check 1, 2, check.
We believe it's a block below the waist.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Potosi, Missouri. Beautiful this time of year. Great night for football. St. Genevieve off to a 7-0 start here in the first quarter. Sorry for the audio difficulties as Aiden passes, and that looks like Zach. He's going to go down the sideline. He's going to score, and St. Jen's off to an early 2-score lead.
On the near side, our far sideline, number 6, Zachary Boyer.
As Aiden Boyer throws to Zach Boyer. And that is 2 quick scores here in the first quarter as there's 4 minutes and 35 seconds left. And St. John off to a 13-0 lead as Brian Schwint comes on to try to add to that lead. Sorry about the glare from the windows. This is the best we're going to be able to do for you tonight. We are tucked in the corner. And that one is good. Nice job, Bryant. And that makes it a 14-0 game. And a great start here for St. John as Potosi got the ball first. Got one big play, 20-yard run by Coleman, and they were stopped 3 and out after that. St. John took the ball right down the field, scored once, had it brought back because of penalty, and then proceeded to score again. Potosi 3 and out on their next drive, and then St. John with the long pass play there from Aiden to Zach, and it's a 14-0 game. Good start here for St. John after a couple tough losses the last 2 weeks. And the coaching staff, I know, is excited to get back out there tonight and see how their kids were going to respond. A really demoralizing loss to Valley in week 2, where the kids came out, didn't play real bad in the first quarter, and then kind of, made a lot of mistakes thereafter. And Valley put it to them. And last week, played a really solid second half, especially against Kennett. Almost pulled it out in one of the better high school football games, or more exciting high school football games that you'll see. And now this week, their first conference game against Potosi. One of the teams that I know going into this season that Coach Pope was really concerned about with their skill level, their returning starters, really between St. John, Potosi, and Park Hills for the conference title this year. So we'll see if St. John can continue the momentum as they scored twice now early in the first quarter. And here they kick off to Potosi. And good return for Potosi. They're going to bring it out to about the 44-yard line. And Potosi will start in good field position. Real quickly, we'll run down the starters. On defense, we got Vaughn and Probst at defensive end, Paul Ahrens at defensive tackle, Thomas O'Brien, Tanner Weiler, leading tacklers at middle linebacker, Caden Buat also at linebacker, and then at the defensive back position, we got Carter Klump at one defensive back, Wyatt Spring Camper at the other corner. And then Clayton Squires and Mason Nix will be the safeties as kid's good. They're going to have to find a way to bring him down. They faced now 3 really good runners to start the season, actually 4. Got 3 kids that are going either FCS or FBS that they've played, and then you got Chase Fowler and Bryce Kiesler from Valley, both really good, really strong runners. So St. John's defense getting tested early in the season with some of these talented players that they've seen. And that time Potosi stuffed up the middle. They had about a 2nd and 5 there. Looked like they gained 1, so that'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 right at midfield. Good gang tackling there by St. John. Really rallied to the ball last week in the second half. They were really playing downhill. Kennett struggled, even with that great running back, Jarrett. Were unable to really sustain any drives. Did hit a couple big plays, but St. John's defense really stepped up in that second half last week. We'll see if they can continue that momentum this week. Nice job there. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No push there by Potosi's offensive line. Dale Probst right there. Will Vaughn right there. And then the linebackers came up to clean that up. Tanner Weiler probably get credit for the tackle on that one. But good team defense there by St. John as Potosi is now faced with a 4th and 2. And they have their offense out on the field. And they're going to go for this here inside of Dragon territory. And the quarterback struggles. He throws it up. And it looks like they're going to call that an interception, I believe. So St. John's actually going to take that back. Said it hit the ground. Either way, it's St. John's ball. Without the interception, it's going to be just inside of their own territory. With the interception, it's going to be 1st and 10 from Potosi's 42. Looks like they're going to go ahead and call it an incomplete pass, but great defense, good penetration there. Will Vaughn in the backfield, all over the quarterback. Quarterback just heaved it up, kind of Hail Mary style, hoping for a miracle, and it didn't work out. And now St. John has a chance to go up by 3 scores early in this ball game. We'll get to the offensive starters here in a minute as we'll watch this first play from scrimmage first. Starting the 2-back set. Aiden Boyer flips it to Zach coming around on the reverse. He patiently hesitates, kicks it to the outside, and he's going to get about 6 yards on that play. Didn't look like he had much. A lot of pressure in the backfield there by Potosi, but Zach, very patient runner, really sets up his blocks. Good job, good run there by Zach. Good job by the offensive line and sticking with it. And that's a good gain on 1st down. So for St. John, same starters as the last 2 weeks. We'll watch this play here real quick as they start in a 2-by-2 set. They're going to motion to the left, and then they run the counter back to the right. And Austin McBride's going to go, and he's going to score. He's going to walk into the end zone. Nice job there by the offensive line. Little counter tray action. You saw the left side of the line pull across. Guard, good kick out block. Tackle led the way up the field. That was Dale Probst. And Austin McBride just walked through that line of scrimmage and into the end zone. Great play call there as they motioned away from that and then countered to the backside. Good blocking by the line. Good run by Austin. And St. John is off and rolling here in the first quarter. And the kick is up, and it is good, and that's going to make it 21-0 here. And this is what we like to see. It's been a struggle for St. John early in the season, going 1-2, 2 really, really competitive games. One lopsided the wrong way. This one looks like it's on the way to becoming lopsided the good way as they look to even their record at 2-2 and go to 1-0 in conference play. Real quickly, we'll look at that offense as they're not going to be on the field now, but basically the offensive lineup, you'll see it here. Aiden at quarterback, Austin McBride, who you just saw with the big 50-yard touchdown run there. On the inside, you got Caden Fly and Zach Boyer, 2 very explosive receivers, and then on the outside, you got Wyatt Springcamper and Caden Buat. Both of them racked up several catches last week. Caden had a couple touchdown passes. And then up front, where it all starts, you got Dale Probst at 1 tackle. You got Anthony Bader at the other tackle. You got McBride at guard. And we'll start here. Nathan Johnson at center. As good little pooch kick there by Bryant Schwint. And it's fielded and swallowed right away as the Potosi return man. And it will bring up 1st and 10 from their own 35, as St. John's defense will have another opportunity here to stop Potosi. We have, as I mentioned, a terrible vantage point. If the ball comes to the far end of the field, we are probably going to miss it. We also have windows to deal with. We've got bars to deal with. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough, but we're going to make the most of it, and we're going to try to get you as much as we can of the action here tonight. Beautiful night for football. It's about 78 degrees at game time, and it is dropping pretty quickly, so it's getting cooler and cooler. Although, as Coach Roth would tell you, standing right next to me, it's not very cool up in the press box. Good stop there by Thomas O'Brien. A gain of about 3 on the play. Oh, sorry, loss of 1 as I look through the reflection.
2nd and 10.
And there's the pass by Potosi, and wide open there. Oh, he dropped it right behind the bar. Ran a little fade route there to the outside. They had a little pick play. Inside receiver kind of ran inside, then jumped out to the fade. The outside receiver ran a slant, picked off that inside defender, that safety, and the cornerback. They tried to switch it up, but by that time it was too late. Had a wide open receiver, and he just flat out dropped the ball. Good ball there by quarterback. We're going to have a lot of these situations where you're going to see most of the play and then you're just going to get blocked, and I apologize. There's a reverse coming for Potosi. He's going to throw the ball. Looking to pass back to the quarterback. And that ball falls incomplete at the feet of the receiver. That was actually Henson. That wasn't the quarterback. So Potosi's forced to punt here. Again, a 3 and out. Haven't had any success on offense outside of that first play from scrimmage where they got 20 yards. St. John with their 4th possession of the game here in the 4th quarter, as that's a high punt fielded by Squires at the 32-yard line. Good sure hands there by Clayton, and St. John will take over 32-yard line with 1 minute and 4 seconds to go here in the first quarter. If anybody can give me an update on the sound coming through, we're hoping it's a little better. We think we kind of fixed it. It was not. Russ Toombs telling us that we can barely hear you. And here we go again. We did have some issues last week with the people that were trying to cast the game or Bluetooth the game to their TV. We're having more issues with the sound. People that were listening directly on their phones or through an app on a smart TV having a little more success. So that may make a difference, may not. I don't know. Kayla says the sound is good, so we're going to go with that. Thank you, Kayla. It's always tough. You go on the road and you have no idea what kind of hookup we're going to have. And this week is no different. This press box is pretty dated, and the electrical boxes in here are not, I would say, up to 2021 code, even in Washington County. But it is what it is, and we'll do the best we can. And we're just excited to be here to bring you some Friday Night Lights. And it's awesome that St. John's off to this 3-score lead. Willa Hogan Miller is watching. We'd like to give a shout out to Willa. Thank you for watching SG Dragon TV. One of SG's newest students as she started kindergarten this year. and just sent a picture with her wearing some green and white. So we're always happy to see that. Always welcoming new Dragons to the fold. So here comes St. John's offense onto the field. This time we're going to run a tight end to the right side, 2 receivers on that right side as well. And they run the sweep over there to Wyatt Springcamper, who busts loose for about 15. Really good gain there on first down, and the offensive line is really imposing their will. Nice job over there on the right side. Anthony Bader, McBride, Nathan Johnson at center. Thomas Piku over there. This PA guy is going to do my color commentating, I guess, since he knows I'm here by himself. He's talking about each play and all that good stuff. And there's a quick pass from Aiden to Zach, and Zach is hit at the line of scrimmage. They were ready for that one there on that little spot pass out to the slot. And Zach quickly brought down, and he's going to get a loss of 3 on that play. So it's going to be 2nd down and 13. We are going to have Coach Nix join us here once he gets his supervision stuff squared away. They're going to get that negative yardage back that they lost on the first play on that little pass and tackle behind the line for Potosi, and Potosi gave him 5 yards back. And it's going to bring up 2nd and 8 just inside of midfield. So St. John again on their side of the field, and that's going to be the last play of the quarter. And St. John will start the second quarter in Potosi territory with a 21-0 lead. Thank you for joining us here on SG Dragon TV. We'll be back in a bit. We're going to try to get this camera in a position where when we go to this side of the field, we can actually see what's happening. I'd like to say hello to Justin Yamnitz, who's watching, former roommate of mine way back when in the college years, mentor of mine, which will explain to you, those of you who know Justin, how I turned out the way I did. Could be better. Sorry, Justin, no offense. And here we go. We're going to start the second quarter. 21-0 lead for St. John. Aiden Boyer takes a snap. Quick pass over here on the little out route to Caden Fly. Caden Fly is always giving us fits. He wears a different number every week. He's worn 11, he's worn 12, he's worn 10. So the announcer, you will hear him possibly call him Noah Burr. He is not Noah Burr, he is Caden Fly. Noah's got a broken arm, so therefore his jersey is free. And Caden's number 10 doesn't fit him very well, so he's going to wear Noah's jersey, at least the white jersey, until Noah's back healthy. There's a pass down the middle, and he's open. Caden was open on the little post route there, but just overthrown there by Aiden. slightly overthrown, says the PA announcer, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 8. So we'll see what St. John wants to do here. Coach Pope's got some options. Midfield, comfortable lead early in the game. Definitely justifiable to go for it here, but also if you want to pin them deep the way the defense is playing, no need to take chances. You can also try to draw them off sides, get 5 yards, make it a lot more manageable 4th down. Caden Buat giving the punt signal from the receiver position. So I'm assuming they're going to punt it here, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do is Aiden pooches it down to the 15 and rolls sideways and now backwards, and they're going to down at about the 16-yard line.
Jacob Johns falls down by the Dragons on the Potosi 15-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10.
So Potosi will take over 1st and 10 from the 15. 11:41 to go here in the second quarter. See if St. John's defense can continue their stifling performance here, as they have not allowed a 1st down since the first play of the game. There's a throw deep over the middle, and that looked like it was going to be picked by Clayton Squires behind the bar. You couldn't see it. Sorry about that. But just over his outstretched arms, and no Potosi receiver in the area, so Potosi's going to now have the ball 2nd and 10, and they're going to struggle passing the ball tonight. You can tell they're just not on the same page, quarterback, receiver. St. John's D-backs doing a really good job in coverage, and the defensive line has gotten some pressure, a lot of penetration up front, passing game and the run game. So far this game, St. John total domination, and that's what we like to hear. Potosi in the gun, trips to the left. And again, throwing, looking deep, ran a little comeback route. And again, not on the same page. Quarterback threw it about 3 yards past where the receiver cut his route off at. And again, St. John player that time, Carter Klump, was the closest to that ball. Interesting, they got Zach Boyer in the game at cornerback this week. And there's a deep ball. Oh, he's wide open. Sorry about that. Again, that fade route, that's the second time they got us on that little fade route combination. Run the inside receiver on an out. And then come in, run a little sort of a slow go route, slant and go, fade, whatever you want to call it. And he was deep behind that initial receiver. So Potosi 1st and 10 now at the 35-yard line of St. John. Their deepest penetration of the night. And, ooh, good cut there. As Henson bumps it out. Play designed to go through the 3-hole there. Ends up bouncing it all the way to the outside. He gets about 8 yards, and that's going to be 2nd and 2. Henson's a really good player, tough to tackle, especially once he gets out in the open field. Not very big, but very strong, very low center of gravity, and really gets going north and south. He's tough to bring down. So 2nd and short here for Potosi. And again, this time a play fake. Good ball there, but just out of the reach of the tight end. Yeah, they're going to have to, I think they're either going to have to throw the ball or try going deep on the outside routes. I don't think they're going to have much luck on the inside. St. John's safeties are really keying on that play action pass. The defensive line is doing a good enough job, and the linebackers doing a good enough job up front to where they don't have to bite on that play action fake, and it's tough for tough for teams to throw over the middle if those safeties aren't biting up and trying to come up and help support the run. Looks like St. John's going to bring some heat here. Looks like a screen pass. Not a screen pass, just jailbreak. And that ball, just as I say it, right over the middle into double coverage, and that's going to be a touchdown for Potosi. Boy, he threaded the needle on that one. That looked like an interception written all over it and ends up being a touchdown for Potosi. So 21-6 as Potosi brings out their extra point unit. I think if you're St. John's coaching staff, you'll give them that all day long, and the chance of them completing that not near as good as the chance of us intercepting it. So it's one of those things. Tip your hat to the other team. Nice play, and we move on. It's 21-7 as the PAT is good. And Potosi executes 2 long pass plays on that drive, 1 decent run, and that combined equals a 74-yard touchdown run or drive. Coach Roth, good call on that one by me, wasn't it? They can't throw over the middle. And then next play, they throw a 35-yard touchdown pass over the middle. The fans are asking for some inside scoop since I got the coaches right here. What's the first play? He can't tell. He's sworn to secrecy. Got an extended break here for water, as the temperature's still above 80 degrees at kickoff, or at least it was close. So 10 minutes and 53 seconds to go here in the first half, 21-7 Potosi. St. John getting ready to get the ball back on their 5th drive of the game. 3 touchdowns, 1 punt. And there we are again with the little pole in the way. There's the kick. And it's going to go out of bounds. That's a break for St. John, as they'll take over at the 40-yard line of Potosi after that penalty. And they'll have a 60-yard field ahead of them. There's a look one more time at that offensive lineup. Very good start so far today. Zach Boyer, 2 touchdowns. Austin McBride, a long touchdown. And St. John scores 3 possessions early in the first quarter. So good start. We'll see if they can continue the momentum here on this drive, their 5th of the game. And there's a handoff to McBride. Again, good patience there by the running back. He's going to get about 5 yards on the play. Good push by the offensive line. And looks like they might get a hold on St. John. Threw it right at the feet of the right tackle, which would be Anthony Bader. Not sure that that was the call, but you can only assume that it happened somewhere in that vicinity. So that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 20 as they enforce a 10-yard holding penalty. And that's going to put us right behind a pole again. Got about 3 poles we're working with here. And the snap to Boyer. Boyer with the quick jailbreak screen to, I think that's Caden again. Caden Fly on the jailbreak as Dale Probst goes out and blocks that outside linebacker that's got coverage responsibility, and Caden just cuts right inside that block and had all kinds of room to work in the middle of the field. right behind the middle linebacker level. And that's going to be a 19-yard gain for Caden. Good pitch and catch there from Aiden to Caden. And there's a deep ball there by Aiden Boyer, and that's to Zach. And, oh, just off his hands. Looked like he had a step there, had to slow down just a touch. And good play there by Potosi's cornerback, coming over the top and knocking that ball down. So it's going to be 3rd and 1. A lot of times you'll see coaches make that call on 2nd down and 1. Not a whole lot to lose. You feel confident the way St. John's line has been moving Potosi's that you're going to get 1 yard on the ground if you need to on 3rd down. So they go for the deep ball on 2nd and short, and didn't get it. But here Austin McBride pushes ahead for 2 on 3rd and short, despite the fact that Potosi had the box stacked. And that's going to be a 1st down for St. John, and they'll continue to march down the field here as they now have 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line. I'm going to have to get Justin Yamnitz up here to do some color commentating next time we have a road game because he's very critical of mine. There's a pass over there to Zach. Zach Boyer, who gets ahead for about 6. Quick pass to the outside. Good block over there. 9 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in the 2nd quarter, and that's going to bring up 2nd and short. And again, St. John's inside Potosi's territory for the 5th time in 5 possessions. And there's a long ball there by Aiden, and he overshoots his intended receiver there.
Ball overthrown, intended for number 28.
That's intended by Buat, intended for Buat, as the glare here with the windows is pretty brutal. Hard enough to see the numbers with the way they fit underneath the shoulder pads and tuck in, and now we got windows in the way, so we'll do our best. Timeout here by Potosi. Sorry, timeout by St. John. Came out in 3 wide receivers to the right side. Running back was flanked to the left on the weak side. We'll see what Coach Balzer saw there, if he wants to take advantage of the defensive formation with a new play out of that same set, or if he didn't like what he saw and wants to go to a new set. But St. John, as we said, off to a decent start this year. It's hard to say that when you're 1-2 and don't have a winning record, but you know they've played 3 really strong teams for this area of the state. Probably 3 of the best teams in this area of the state. Came up on top against Festus 36-31 in week 1. Very well played game, I thought, by St. John. Very physical. I thought they tackled very well considering the athletic ability of Festus. Week 2 really ran into a buzzsaw in Valley. Valley really executed well the entire game. St. John unable to get off the field on defense early in that game as they allowed several big plays to Valley on 3rd and 4th down and kind of dug themselves a hole that they were unable to get out of, and they lost that game 46-0. And then last week really rallied in the second half and came up just short 40-38. Missed a 2-point conversion late in that game to tie it up. So they faced a lot of adversity so far this year, and I think they've gotten a lot better, as you've seen here tonight, executing really well as they give to McBride up the middle. Good hole there. He's going to get about 3 yards, and he's going to get right near the 1st down marker. I think he's going to come up about a yard short, as it'll be 4th.
Once again, the Dragon Bell Cow.
Maybe not.
42,
Looks like they might measure. Again, we're right at the bar, so we'll try to move our They are going to go ahead and give him a first down. Sorry about the motion of the camera. We continue to move to try to get these bars out of your way. And here we go, 1st and 10. Trips to the right for St. John. And fake to McBride. They throw to the weak side. And that's going to be another first down as they're going to get about 11 yards on that play. And that's going to be to Spring Camper. Really picking on the weak side here tonight. Their backside corner is really playing off. They're giving him that short pass, that little stop route over there. And that's about the 4th time we've seen it tonight. So good job by Coach Balza, the offensive coordinator, recognizing something that the defense is giving them and sticking with it and forcing them to adjust. So here we go, trips. This time the corner's playing up. Outside linebacker sneaks out. We'll see if they want to try a double move over there or come over to the 3 wide receiver side as they stack the receivers down here. And there's coming to the strong side. Oh, and that's off the hands of Zach Boyer and picked off by Potosi. Ooh, and there's going to be a horse collar added to that return. Looked like a good throw there by Aiden. Zach just couldn't pull it in. Running down the middle of the field, off his fingertips and right to the lap of Henson, their best athlete. And Henson ran it back about 40 yards, and he's going to get 15 yards tacked on to the end of that return.
Written out of bounds. And we have a flag on the play. Horse collar. St. Genevieve.
We got a busted tripod here, so we got some slippage happening with our camera. So Potosi's going to take over way down deep in St. John territory here, about the 29-yard line. So they got a chance to bring it back to a one-possession game after the strong, quick start by St. John to go up by 3 scores. And Potosi now threatening to bring it back to one possession with 7 minutes and 39 seconds to go here in the second quarter. And there's the drop back and the throw again over the middle, and good coverage on the play, that time by Wyatt Springcamper.
Second down for the Trojans.
So 2nd down and 10 for Potosi. They go pistol formation, trips over to the right side, lone receiver 28 to the left. And they're going to look that way to the lone receiver side, and a little stop route similar to what St. John was running, but that's no good as receiver ran about a 12-yard route and the quarterback threw about an 8-yard route. So a little miscommunication there by Potosi as they've been a little off with their passing game so far in this game. But also good coverage. Early in the game, we saw a lot of penetration by the defensive line. Now Potosi's really gone to some quick hit the back foot and throw type of plays, so they don't have to worry so much about the pressure. But the timing's just not there for them tonight, as it looks like St. John just jumped offside.
And St. Genevieve crosses over into the neutral zone.
And that's going to be a
5-yard penalty.
defensive neutral zone infraction there. It looks like Dale Probst came across on that play. A little unforced error there by St. John. And really hard to see with the glares of the window here. I apologize. But Potosi 2nd and 5. Quarterback drops back, throws that fader out again, and St. John's in position to make the pick. And I think they do. Nice play there. Hard to see through the window. Look like, is that Clayton Squires maybe? I don't know. you can see about as much as I can. 20, Carter Klump. So, again, we'll try to shimmy this over a little bit, give you a better look.
Referees now ruling touchback, I think.
They're gonna say that Klump rolled into the end zone.
Yes, it is.
Which means it's going to be a touchback, and St. John's going to get the ball on the 20-yard line, and now we're lopsided. Well, we're having all kinds of issues here. I apologize, guys. We're just trying to do the best we can here, give you as much football as we can here tonight. As St. John retakes over possession of the ball, 20-yard line, and looks like we got a little speed option here. Aiden Boyer tries to draw it out, and he's going to get about 2 yards on the play. Good job on the pitch responsibility there by Potosi's defensive linebacker. Outside linebacker was right there where he was supposed to be, taking his responsibility, and good pursuit there by the inside linebackers. And it's going to be, they're going to call it a gain of 3, and it's going to be 2nd and 7. We're a little crooked, but it's going to have to work. All right, motion here, counter tray again. Another big run by Austin McBride off of the counter tray. And that play, the old staple of Bobby Weiler offense back in the day. And it's just as effective in 2021 as it was back in the 2000s and 1990s and late 80s. Good job again by the offensive line up front. Huge hole for Austin, and Austin's having himself a night here early in this game. We're trying to find an opening here. Shotgun rolls to the right, pass out to Caden Buat. Caden is on his knee when he, oh no, unable to catch the ball. As Caden is taunted by the PA announcer. Wide open, he says. This guy. Feel like we're listening to somebody at a county fair at a cow patty plop. We got trips to the right. Motion out of that trips, and there's that counter tray again, this time to the right side. It's the first time we saw that to that side, and upended. Good job there by defense knifing in there. And the guy that knifed in there and made the play is actually down. Looks like he's got a shoulder. He put a good lick on Austin, but apparently he took the worst of it. Must have been the angle of the hit, as they're going to work on his shoulder here. Very good play by the interior defensive lineman, but he paid the price. Got some scores for you here, thanks to Russell Toombs. Hillsboro's up on North County 14-0. That's an interesting score, as North County seemed to be improving this year, but that conference not as strong as it's been in the past. Central up early and big, 41-0 over Cuba. Central's got a lot of really good athletes over there, putting up a lot of points so far this year. Farmington's up 27-6 over Rittenhour. Valley 28-7 over St. Dominic. That's a big score for Valley, as they're up by 3 scores. That game's 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Perryville's up 14-6 over Fredericktown, 2 teams that are remaining on our schedule. Just to give you a look ahead, we got Fredericktown next week. That game we will not be able to broadcast because of the location. The week after that, we come back home. We will play Park Hills that week, and then the following week will be our homecoming, and that will be October the 8th. And if you are an alumni class and your graduating year ends in 1 or 6, for example, class of 2001 or 2006, two classes that we don't have yet. Get a float registered. We'll get the word out on social media, help you communicate if you don't have Facebook groups or anything like that for your class, and we'll get a group of your alumni together, but we need a contact person and somebody that's going to commit to bringing a trailer or some kind of vehicle to the parking lot on October the 8th for the St. John Parade. That parade leaves the parking lot at 5 o'clock, and we'll travel our normal parade route. So if you have some young kids, you want to come out and bring them to the parade, get some candy, please, we invite you to do that on October the 8th as Aiden drops back and throws it to the sideline there. Tried to hit Caden. Caden was open there for a minute, but Aiden threw it a little bit late. Opening closed. And that's going to bring up a 4th and 8. This is the same situation they elected to punt it from earlier, about the same part of the field. They're about at the 47-yard line. Looks like Aiden's in the punting position. They keep their same offense out on the field. Aiden drops back right before the snap, and there's the kick. It's up, and it is going to go inside the 10, inside the 5. Great punt there by Aiden Boyer, as that's going to roll dead about the 3-yard line. And Potosi's going to have a long field to go here with 5:55 to go here in the second quarter. 21-7 is the score. So that homecoming game that we were speaking of in week 7, that will be Perryville. Then we play DeSoto, and we wrap up the regular season against Brentwood. So as you look at the schedule and you compare front side of the schedule to the back side of the schedule, much more favorable to St. John on the back side as oh boy, this Henson can really stop and start on a dime. Zach Boyer, probably our best athlete on the field there for St. John, and just a really good inside cut, a juke, and then a jump cut back to the outside, and Zach unable to bring him down. Got another 6 or 7 yards before he was forced out of bounds. Really good player is Henson. And there's a good stop there by defense. Good penetration. Looked like off the defensive end position. And that's Will Vaughn. Will Vaughn had a great game week 1 against Festus. Excellent job there. Really played inside leverage well against the tackle. And no chance on that play for the running back as he was swallowed, or hit in the backfield anyway. He did get 2 yards, but no room to run there for Henson. Motion here for Potosi. They go back to a 2-by-2 set, even it out on both sides of the ball. High snap. And thrown, and that's going to be incomplete, thrown to nobody. As the receiver was about 40 yards downfield, the pass was about 25 yards downfield. So good coverage there by St. John, good pressure, made the quarterback get rid of it.
3rd and 9 for the Trojans.
Here's the snap in the pistol formation. Back to throw, and that ball is up, and that is picked off right behind the window bar again. Sorry about that. We're going to go with Caden Buat with the pick based on what we heard from the PA announcer. Couldn't see it either, as I was behind the same bar as you were. So Caden Buat with the interception. He's in my first hour class, so I'm sure he'll give me some grief about not being able to see it on the broadcast, but you can only do what you can do, you know. Try to slide it over a little bit. help you out here. So 1st and 10, again taking over in Potosi territory. Every drive St. John's had so far today has gotten at least to the midfield stripe. And this time they try outside run with Austin McBride. And he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 2nd down and 11. As St. John's kind of been stuck in the same part of the field here this entire quarter, unable to get past that 40, 35-yard line area. Looks like they're going to go quads now, try something new. They bump 4 receivers over to the right side. Austin McBride leaves the backfield. See if they motion him back in there. And they do not. And there's a little pump and go to Zach, and he's wide open. He's got him, and touchdown. Nice pass there from Aiden to Zach. Ran that stopper out on the weak side about 4 different times early in the game and faked it that time. Cornerback bit up, and Zach Boyer ran unimpeded down the sideline to the end zone. Touchdown, 27-7 St. John. Bryant Schwent comes on for the extra point. And it is good. So Zach Boyer, 3 touchdown receptions today. Aiden Boyer, 3 touchdown passes. Austin McBride with the 4th touchdown run. And St. John 28-7 here in the first half with 4 minutes and 1 second left to go. Good drive there by St. John. Quick drive, capped off by the 42-yard pass play from Aiden Boyer to Zach. And St. John's offense continues to roll here in the first half. Cardinals are winning 3-0. They are on fire. I have given up on that team at least 7 times this year. And I just keep coming back because every time I give up on them, they'll win a few in a row. And the teams that we're trying to catch just not playing very well. And as a result, they've kind of walked into that playoff spot right now as it stands. Playing the Padres tonight, one of the teams they're chasing. And that's going to be a touchback by Bryant Schwent. Nice kick, Bryant. And I'm about to lose the camera. Justin Roth was trying to help me get this set up before the game, and I appreciate the help, but then he broke the tripod. He didn't hear me. I broke the tripod. Stuff happens. All right, so Potosi with the ball. 1st and 10, 20-yard line, handoff to Henson. Henson, big hole there on the left side. He's going to get about 6 yards before he gets behind the pole.
Not before he picks up 7 on the play. I think it's 2nd and 3 for Potosi from their own 27-yard line.
It's going to be 2nd and 3. Good gain there on 1st down. There is 3 minutes and 30 seconds, so time is an issue here for Potosi. They got a long way to go if St. John can just keep them from getting the big play. It's going to be tough for Potosi to get all the way down the field here as Henson gets the ball, breaks an arm tackle there, but then wrapped up and brought down by about 4 Dragons. Looks like Jacob Johns on the tackle there at the inside linebacker position. Jacob, we're without Jacob the first week of the season. That was a big loss for the defense. He really is the emotional leader of the team, at least on the defensive side of the ball. Very aggressive player, really puts his nose in there, makes a lot of plays at the line of scrimmage. And there's a snap and a little play action pass, and it's bobbled there as the quarterback. Oh, gosh. Boy, that was dangerous. Little play action pass, and the running back knocked it out of the quarterback's hands. Quarterback recovers and intends it for Portell over on the sideline. Looked like it had a chance to be intercepted for a bit, but unable to get there was Zach Boyer. And Potosi now forced to punt on 4th and 3. Be ready for a fake and don't jump off sides if you're St. John here. Tried to get him to jump. They didn't. Good discipline there by St. John. Good punt by Potosi. And that's going to bounce about the 40-yard line. Oh, that just hit a St. John player. Did it not hit a Potosi player? Did Potosi first? Potosi's saying it should be their ball, but they're saying it hit St. John or hit the Potosi player first. Either that or the St. John player was blocked into it, which is possible as well. So St. John will take over. Again, pretty good field position, about the 36-yard line. They'll have 1st and 10 with 2 minutes and 21 seconds left, and they still have 2 timeouts here in the first half. Oh, there was a flag, but it was holding on St. John, so I take that back about starting field position. They will now start at their own 26-yard line after the 10-yard penalty. So this is a big possession here for St. John. It would be great, especially getting the ball coming out in the second half. If they could put up a touchdown here, I think that would kind of, you don't want to say it seals the game. It's a lot of time left, but you know, that's a lot to overcome. 28-point deficit, and you're giving up the ball at the beginning of the second half. So see what St. John can muster here as they throw a quick pass to Caden Fly. Caden makes a move. He's still on his feet. He's up to about the 35, and he's still on his feet to the 40. He fights ahead for a gain of about 15 yards, and that's good enough for a St. Genevieve first down. And St. John will go quickly here as they got 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Clock's currently stopped because of the first down, moving the chains. Plays coming in from the sidelines. And St. John is ready to snap the ball as soon as the chains get set, as they have quads now to the left side. See if they go to the weak side again. They got Zach manned up, just like they had a while ago on the touchdown when they ran the little hitch and go. We'll see if we see something similar or we just see the stop route. Ooh, and they run a quarterback draw. And Aiden, a lot of room there. Good job by Coach Bosler and the offensive coaching staff. Really spreading out this Potosi defense, finding holes, finding open receivers, and really making them adjust. And every time they adjust, they find something new to exploit. So good job so far by St. John offense and St. John defense, as they've had a strong first half as well. Aiden with the snap, and that time quick little jailbreak screen to Caden Fly. Caden got about 5 yards. They're going to stop the clock. Potosi had a player down. He's back up now. We'll see if St. John took a timeout. Looks like they did. I didn't know if that was going to be an official timeout because of the injury, or looks instead to be a St. John timeout. Never did get an official signal, I don't think, but going to assume that we're down to 1 timeout here with 1 minute and 23 seconds left on Potosi's 40-yard line. St. John does have a really strong field goal kicker in Bryant Schwinn, all-conference performer last year. So that's an option as we come down to the end of the first half. Definitely going to have to get probably 10, 15, 20 yards more to consider that. But he does have a very strong leg, very accurate kicker. Very strong half by Aiden Boyer. Really has thrown the ball well. Zach, obviously, with a few touchdowns. Austin McBride's run the ball well. Now we're seeing Caden Fly coming from that opposite side of Zach. Those two can really feed off each other. If teams try to cheat to Zach's side, Caden is a very good threat on that opposite side that teams are going to have to respect, and then that's going to open things up for Zach and the other receivers, Wyatt Springcamper and Caden Buette as well. Here's the snap. Aiden rolls to the right. Oh, did not see that linebacker, and that hit him right between the 5 and the 2. He was playing that hook zone, and he was right where Aiden was looking, and Aiden didn't see him. He did have the receiver open if he would have gave it a little loft, but didn't think he had to, didn't see the defender, and fortunately for St. John, in and out of the hands of the defender. So here we go. We got trips to the right. Austin McBride in the backfield. Try to get him to jump offside. Looked like he came across the neutral zone, but no flag. Austin McBride flips to the strong side. Aiden rolls. And on the sprint right pass, we got a first down there. Caden Buette catches it. He's going to get about 9 yards, 10 yards it looks like. That's going to stop the clock temporarily at the 30-yard line. Minute and 10 seconds left. Again, I'm going to try to slide this over. This time we got trips to the left. Motion, going to run that counter tray back to the left side. A lot of success with that play so far tonight, but not that time. Gain of 3 for Austin. Clock continues to run. We're down to about 54 seconds. Plays coming in from the sideline. Quickly line up. Trips formation. Same formation as last time. And there's a snap. Boyer looking over the middle, and that pass is incomplete, intended for Zach Boyer. And that's going to take us down to 40 seconds left. It's going to be a 3rd down and long, 3rd and 7. So we'll see. We need to get a first down here for sure. From this point of the field, you're looking at about a 44, 45-yard field goal. Somebody's on the wrong side of the field. And they're going to have to call a timeout here, I guess. Just barely get it off with 1 second left. And there's the pass, and there's an interception as St. John had a misalignment there, didn't want to take their timeout because they needed it to stop the clock. And the coaching staff up here in the booth yelling down at somebody because they were on the wrong side of the formation. One of the receivers was lined up on the right side, should have been on the left side, and ended up with 2 receivers in the same area, and interception there by Aiden. So 33 seconds left. Potosi's going to get the ball at the 20-yard line. We'll see what they want to do, how aggressive they want to be here. A long way to go. I'd be surprised if they try to do too much here. Take a chance of turning the ball over to St. John deep in their own territory. But we'll see. What do you got to lose, I guess, is a quick play action pass. Nice play there. That was a dart.
Taken to the ground by number 7, Thomas O'Brien, but not before Potosi.
That was good coverage there by St. John. Just quick play action pass, back foot in the ground. Really hard pass and clean catch there by the tight end. So 27.7 seconds here in the first half. Potosi, 31-yard line on their own 31. St. John can play soft here, but you don't want to play too soft. You don't want to give up, 30, 40-yard chunks, especially in high school ball where the clock stops as the chains move. But at the same time, you're satisfied giving up 15, 20 yards here with this much time on the clock. So 2x2 set here for, I'm sorry, trips to the right. There's a reverse. They're going to pass it out of this as Henson looks to throw and came back for it. Looked like he trapped it. I think they're going to give him that. They're going to call that a completion. I'm not sure how that didn't hit the ground, but either way, it's a gain of about 19 yards. 17 seconds left. Potosi's not going to use their final timeout here. At least they're not yet. They try to get lined up. We got the home team chain gang over there taking their good old time, getting set. And now the clock's wound. They got down to 10 seconds. 7. Back to throw. This is going to be the last play of the half, I believe. And that is overthrown, and there's 1.5 seconds left. Just barely got it off, and they're going to take one timeout with them in the halftime as they let about 17 seconds go off the clock there. Well, they're going to take it now with 1.5 seconds left, but the clock was stopped anyway. So there's a 49-yard line. They are in St. John territory. Thanks to a generous pass completion call by the referees. And they're going to have one shot for a Hail Mary attempt here. I'm sure St. John's probably going to have at least 8 guys back in coverage. Probably have a couple of them playing about the 20-yard line, and then the rest of them probably playing inside the 10-yard line, guarding against that Hail Mary pass. You don't want any penalties here, no pass interference. Tell the guys absolutely no contact while the ball's in the air. And now St. John's going to take their last time out of the half. And just when I thought we were on pace for a relatively quick game, at least compared to last week, we come to a grinding halt with 1.5 seconds left here in the first half. Ran 101 plays combined by both teams there in that first half. Just our team? Yeah, both teams. Yeah, that's a lot of plays. Which is more plays than we probably ran last week, and probably had about a 40-minute shorter first half. So much better job by the officials this week than we saw last week of keeping the pace of play going, not having a conference every 2 minutes. So we've got, looks like trips to the right. So you would think that would be their strong side of the field. We do have man coverage over here. Their strongest receivers are to that right side, so we expect it to go there. And just as I say that, looks like they're going to throw to the weak side, and they're going deep, and looked like it was going to be picked off there, but falls to the ground. And that's going to be the end of the first half with a St. John lead 28-7 over Potosi in the opener of the MAFC White Division in 2021. St. John has the advantage early in the first half, and with that being said, we'll look at the stats, and we'll be back with you before the start of the second half. You're watching SG Dragon TV. And we're back at the beginning of the second half as St. John fields the opening kickoff and returns it. I think that's Clayton Squires, returns it to about the 25-yard line. Sorry, that was Wyatt Springcamper. And we're joined here this half, at least for the third quarter, by Jeff Nix, the athletic director, former football coach. He's watching these games this year from a little different lens, as he's also got a son, Mason Nix, starting at the safety position on defense. Coach Nix, what's going on, buddy?
Not a whole lot, just another Friday night, another football game.
It's nice to be back, isn't it?
It is, and I tell you what, we're maybe finally getting into some football weather soon. I don't think we're quite there yet, but it's right around the corner, I think.
It feels nice out on the field, but a little warm up here in the press box. And Zach Boyer gets the handoff, and he's going to get about 4 yards there on first down.
After a gain of about 3 or so by Blake Hitson.
Zach's one of those kids where he could just break one any minute, and he's proven that time and time again. So every time he gets the ball, you kind of hold your breath a little bit, hoping that it's one of those times.
You've got an interesting setup here, Coach, with all these windows that don't come out and bars everywhere. So our viewers are getting a lot of blocked views, but we'll just make the most of it. Makes you appreciate our facilities at St. John.
Absolutely.
There's a counter tray there again. A lot of success on that play. This time it goes to Wyatt Springcamper. Austin McBride gained about 80 yards on that play in the first half. And this time Wyatt gets it going to the right side. Most of the room was on the left side in the first half.
Looks like we're less than a foot short of a first down there. Not sure if that was a nope. Gave us a first down on that. Interesting.
They did that earlier in the game too. I thought it looked like we were short, and they gave it to us on second down play.
I tell you what, you see that with officials a lot more. Like even last week at Kennett, there was once where the coach was yelling, measure it, and they didn't want to.
Yeah. Third and fourth down, they're a little more careful, I think. But if it's an early down, they'll give the benefit of the doubt to the offense as McBride goes up the middle there for 2 yards.
Once again, number 42.
We got Bob Stolzer listening at home again. St. Genevieve. It's always good to hear from Coach Stolzer, longtime head coach. A lot of successful years under Coach Stolzer.
We both had the pleasure of coaching with Bob Stolzer. That was an experience. He is something else, but I tell you what, he was a good head football coach and had a lot of success at St. Genevieve.
Yeah, great motivator of kids, and he still stays pretty close to the program, keeps his eyes on things, and it's always good to have Coach around the program. That ball falls incomplete as it's a little too high. Tell you what, you've seen St. John really try to spread the field, obviously, with their spread formation. They're putting 3 receivers on one side, and they're really trying to pick on that opposite side. They're playing a zone coverage, Potosi is, to the strong side, and then they're manning up on the weak side. And whether it's Wyatt Springcamper or Zach Boyer, Caden Fly, whoever they decide to leave by themselves, they're really trying to pick on that man-to-man defender. Well,
and I tell you what, when you're trying to defend St. Genevieve and you've got 5, 6 skill players that are a threat, like that right there, I mean, you can't just cover Zach Boyer because we've got Caden Fly, we've got a good running back in McBride, and we've got Springcamper, sophomore. I mean, every kid out there is a kid that can make a play at any second. That's hard to defend, but Potosi's doing a decent job, especially after the 21-0 quick start. They've kind of done a little bit better job against us, but hopefully we can score here. Big drive here as far as kind of putting the pedal down to the metal and maybe making it a little tougher for Potosi to make a big comeback.
First down and 10 from the 49. There's a handoff up the middle, and McBride is taken down right at the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up a second down and 10. And this is kind of the area of the field, again, we're in Potosi territory. But ever since that first quarter, we've kind of got stalled between the 30 and the 50-yard line, unable to drive deep into Potosi territory. And hopefully this drive here, hopefully on the second and 10 play, we figure out a way to break that barrier down.
Second and 10 for the Dragons.
You know, potentially this score right now could be a lot worse with throwing a couple of interceptions right in the end zone there, close to the end zone. It could be a lot worse than what it is. That's a good catch there by Caden Buat.
Yeah, that's not easy to do, coming over the middle like that, knowing you're going to get hit, knowing you're in traffic, and Caden did a good job securing that catch.
Caden's a big, strong kid, and when you're big and strong like he is, you have a little bit more confidence of taking a hit there across the middle. But I don't care how big you are, when you don't see that hit coming, it hurts.
Looks like we're going to have two backs in the backfield as Spring Camper and McBride flank Aiden Boyer. And looks like they're going to run to the outside with Spring Camper, and he had a little bit of a hole there, closed quickly. Nice tackle there. And looks like a gain of about 3 for Wyatt, and that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 7.
Potosi's got a beautiful field here, by the way. It's you know, once they put turf in, I don't know how long ago it's been, maybe 8 years ago, 9 years ago, something like that. It just completely turned this field into a very average field to one of the better fields around the area.
Yeah, the kids really like to play on it, very soft. Zach Boyer breaks the tackle. He breaks to the outside, and he's going to get about 5 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and short from the 30-yard line.
That's Wyatt Spring Camper there.
Oh, sorry.
8 instead of 6. The numbers look, they're hard to read.
Especially from the front when they're tucked up underneath their shoulder.
Well, in the first half, the PA announcer guy here, he missed quite a few. So
he's something. We were talking about him in the first half. It's like listening to a county fair announcer with a cow patty plop.
Yeah. I think I even heard him say something about we kept running it to the right or something along those lines. Oh, no, it's not good.
And that's going to be a sack for a loss of a lot. Looks like about a loss of 13 yards, so that 3rd and 2 is going to turn it into about a 4th and 15, and they're going to be forced to punt here from inside their own territory. This is a situation. We had a similar punt yardage in the first half, and Aiden was able to pin him down deep inside the 5 with a really good punt. We'll see if he's able to do that again. Does look like Potosi's going to have somebody back this time. They did not the last time. So,
man, we have done a good job of driving the ball down the field every time we've had the ball, but we have had a hard time finishing.
Looks like they have something here. They're in their offensive formation. They're going to go ahead and throw this ball as Aiden looks for Zach, and Zach makes the catch on the back shoulder, and he's going to score.
Wow.
I think the coaching staff saw the Potosi return man going back. He has not gone back this whole game, and when he went back, they figured they had an extra receiver in their matchup against the defensive backs, and they put 3 receivers. All they put Caden Buat, Zach Boyer, Caden Fly all on the same side of the field, and just ran Zach down the field.
That was a good throw and a good catch there. You still got to execute in that situation, and they did there, and that's a huge play right there.
Yeah,
another PAT good by Bryant Schwent. And I do have to mention that Mason Nix was holding that ball. Probably the first time that a person holding the PAT has ever been mentioned, but I had to throw that out there.
Oh, I tried to give us 14 points for that, too. That would have been nice. Would have gave us a running clock. All right, so 35-7 is the score here. 5 minutes, 55 seconds, 6 minutes taken off the clock there. Good drive by St. John. Looked like it was going to come to a halt with the sack of Aiden Boyer on that 3rd and short, but coaching staff saw something they liked, took advantage of it on a 4th and long, and long 42-yard touchdown pass from Aiden Boyer to Zach for Zach's 4th touchdown of the night.
He's a playmaker.
He is that. That is for sure.
I can't. I don't know that this is the exact stat, but it's pretty close, if not right on it. We had a little scrimmage this summer against Cuba, and then we had the jamboree, of course, and then we had the game with Festus where Zach scored on the first play of the game, like a 90-yard touchdown or something like that. He actually scored the first 6 times he touched the ball this season.
It's a pretty hard pace to keep up, but
That
pretty
is tough
impressive
for
nonetheless.
anybody.
And that ball goes into the end zone for another touchback for Bryant. And Potosi will get the ball 1st and 10 from their own 20.
Bryant's a sophomore kicker. He came on the scene as a freshman last year and was a starting kicker, and he's continued to get better. And I think by the time he's a senior, he's going to put every one of those things out of the back of the end zone.
Spends a lot of time on his kick, and that's for sure. He works hard at it.
Well, and I tell you, making the team start on the 20-yard line every single time you score a touchdown is big. I mean,
Right.
it's important.
And you take away an opportunity for a big play on a return. As Henson, this kid's a good player.
He is fast.
He's out. Gain at 25. He's going to get to the 45-yard line. And big hole open there on the left side of that offensive front for Potosi as they were able to kick out the defensive end and get up into the linebackers with the pulling linemen.
They've been successful with that play to him on the first play of a drive probably 4 times tonight.
Yeah, that's what they started off the game with, and looked rough after the first play, and then St. John's defense really clamped down for the rest of that first quarter. Didn't give up another first down after that until the second. Here's the motion come in. They fake the reverse. Looked like they were going to try a little swing.
Ooh, that's a fumble. That's a fumble. No.
Oh, they called him down.
Well, he may have been down, but that was
Fake the little jet sweep or reverse coming off the other side, and they were going to run a little swing pass. Really good defense there. I didn't see who that was on that side, but outside, whoever the outside linebacker was on that particular play was right with it. And
they knew exactly what was coming, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. It's very encouraging to see the defense play the way they have so far in this game. They've really stepped up this week, and you know, after playing such a tough schedule, good job, athletic director. Those first 3 weeks, you know, it's nice to see the kids really experience a lot of success here in this game early. But having said that, playing those teams early in the season, really it's a measuring stick for the kids to kind of let them know kind of where they are, where they need to improve, what they need to get better at. But they were also able to experience quite a bit of success, especially against Festus and Kennett, 2 really good teams. And I think not only were they able to learn about their deficiencies, but they also, you know, were able to see that they could really play with some really good teams.
Yeah, you know, the win over Festus was huge because Festus is a good team with some really good athletes. In Valley, you know, you and I were just talking a while ago. Right now they're beating the number 5 team in Class 4. It was 42-7. So, you know, losing to them, a lot of people may not understand how good Valley is. St. John doesn't mean St. John's not a good team. I can promise you that. And then last week we played Kennett and ended up losing by 2, but Kennett's a good team too. I just saw a couple of days ago on Twitter that SEMO is signing their running back and their linebacker, and those 2 guys are really good ball players, and they leaned on those 2 guys a lot against us. I think their running back, Jarrett, I think he had 38 catches, or 38 touches. I think 36 were rushes and 2 catches, but 38 times is a lot of times to give the ball to a kid.
It's been a long time since we've played that many Division I athletes, you know, in one season, and we did it in the first 3 weeks. You got Festus has, you know, 2 kids that are, or at least 1 kid that's going big-time D1, and you got another kid that's being looked at by some FCS schools and their quarterback. And then you turn around, you got Aiden Heberly that's going to Mizzou, and then last week we got the 2 kids from Kennett both going to SEMO. So we've played some elite level talent for this size high school football. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely, and there was a lot of good that came out of that. Even though we ended up being 1-2 in those first 3 weeks, there was a lot of good that came out of that, and it was encouraging to say the least. And I think it prepared us for games like tonight, where we feel like we're a little bit.
Oh, that's picked off.
What is that? What? Yeah, what's the whistle for? Well, you can't blow it dead there.
They're gonna call pass interference here.
That's fine, but you can't blow it dead.
I I guess he figured why waste our time.
I guess so. I guess so.
I mean, if anybody gets hurt on that, it's Potosi because, worst case scenario for St. John, they fumble the ball, then Potosi recovers and takes it back the other way. But that's definitely going to be a 15-yarder on St. John. Although technically it's an inadvertent whistle. Should be.
Yeah, it should be an inadvertent whistle and replay the down.
Surely they're not going to call that. He did.
Yeah, you can't do an inadvertent whistle and not replay the down. That's just the rule. You can't pick and choose when you want to do that, even if you make a mistake.
Potosi totally just got cheated out of 15 yards on that.
Yes, they did.
But by the rule book, it's the right call, but not what you want to see from an officiating standpoint. Ooh,
well, I don't know how many times when we used to run the midline and the veer, especially in lower level games, when they would do inadvertent whistles on plays where we scored touchdowns. And that was so frustrating. But it just means you're running those plays really, really well.
Right. Yeah, you still see that at the college level when you watch Army or Navy. Some of those teams, Georgia Tech, that run that triple option, it's tough as an official because you don't want to get anybody hurt, so you want to blow the whistle as soon as the play's dead. Well, but that was a completely different situation there. There was no reason to blow that whistle.
Yeah. I'll have to watch that too. I'm not sure if it was a pass interference or if he was blocking the guy from tackling the guy that intercepted it.
They ended up not even signaling
anything
because it was the inadvertent whistle superseded the flag. There's a pass by Potosi, and that's over the receiver. Good help there by number 5 over the top, Mr. Mason Nix. A little different watching the game this year, Coach.
Definitely. It's, to be honest with you, hope Mason doesn't hear this, but it's not as fun because you're just so, nervous for your kid to do well and to, at the end of the game, be happy. And so it's definitely different, but it's still fun. I can't say that it's not. It's still fun.
And here's Potosi back to punt. Good high spiraling kick back to the 38-yard line. That's taken and quickly brought down Clayton Squires. And St. John will take over at the 37-yard line at their own 37-yard line.
Down there in a
and
hurry
it'll be a 35-7 ball game. 4 minutes and 6 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. And St. John looking at going up by 5 scores here if they can push this in, and looking for that 35-point margin number after last week's Kennett game. We would love that because that may have been the longest football game I've ever seen.
Oh, my gosh. Well, in this game, the first half was an hour and a half. And I'm like, you kidding me? We're going to do this again?
Even though it was an hour and a half, it didn't even seem that long.
No, it didn't.
The two teams combined, Justin told me that the two teams combined ran 101 plays in the first half. So
holy cow.
A lot of action going on in the first half. But it wasn't all dominated by officials like last week was.
Yes.
I thought these officials have done a pretty good game up until that inadvertent whistle just a minute ago.
Yeah, there's no excuse for that inadvertent whistle. But officials are human. They make mistakes, and they're certainly not doing it on purpose. So they do the best they can, and we appreciate them even doing it because there's a lot of people like myself who would not do it.
Touche. Not a lot of pay for an awful lot of criticism.
Well, when the 90% of plays that you get right, nobody says anything.
Right.
Nobody.
Aiden rolls out. Perfect pass between two defenders, and Buat just unable to haul it in. Right off his fingertips. Caden Buati, as he's known here in Potosi.
Anytime that you've got a Boyer on this team, that they're going to call it Booyer because that's how they pronounce it over here, I'm pretty sure.
It is.
So every time that we've got a Boyer, which is a lot, they always pronounce it Booyer.
You also know that when you come to Potosi, you're going to have a Portel, and in this case, Potosi's got 3 of them. I think
they probably say the same thing about Boyers.
They probably do. And Balslers, Follards.
Yep. Oh, there's
the pass interference right there.
Oh.
or they got illegal man downfield. Looks like I don't
Yeah.
know what they did there. It looks like Nathan Johnson was way downfield.
That may be defensive pass interference there. I'm not.
I know
It looked like maybe they were holding one of our receivers.
our coaches were calling for it in the next booth, but I did not see what was. I was watching the ball.
Oh, was that our coaches? I thought that was theirs.
That was ours.
You're right, though. It looked like we had a lineman that may have been downfield unless he went that way after the catch was made.
Yeah, it's going to be on St. John. I don't know. We haven't seen the signal yet.
No, a holding on defense declined. So
did they offset? I think they had 2 penalties and they offset. I didn't see the first signal.
Well, that's strange. Shouldn't you replay the down? I mean, I'll take this, but on offsetting penalties, don't you replay the down?
Check that. Penalty on the Trojan.
Okay, so it's just
they
a
called
penalty
one on St. John, though, too, but I don't know if it was a
Potosi.
I have no idea. I didn't see the preliminary signal, so I don't know what the first call was. But there was a call on both teams. I saw him point with both directions, but for some reason they ended up being a 15-yard penalty, so maybe the personal foul superseded the other penalty. I don't know.
Maybe. Oh, man.
Good job there by Aiden. Get upfield.
When he gets an open field, he's fast. He's one of the fastest kids on the team.
He's a natural athlete, and he does a good job of really keeping his head up and trying to make plays downfield, even though he might have some space. Sometimes you just want him to put his head down, tuck it, and run. But he's made several plays this season outside the pocket. So
yeah.
2nd and 7.
Second down and 7 here for St. John.
Did a lot of running there for 3 yards.
They did. Did a good job eluding the rush.
He did. Somebody's getting through, keeps getting through in there.
There's a gain of about 3 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and short here, about long 3.
Ball advanced to the 41-yard line.
I would think we're probably in 2-down territory here, especially up by 4 touchdowns.
I would think, and we spent a lot of time in this part of the field here tonight, but it's always better to be in their territory than your own, and we've been in Potosi territory most of the night.
We have. I think, like I said, we haven't had a 3 and out yet, or 4 and out yet, because
good out route there by the inside receiver, Caden Fly, and he's going to get about 20 yards.
Yep, good play there. We've driven down the field every time we've had it. We've just had a few turnovers, a few drop passes that killed long drives. And I don't know what our yardage is tonight, but 35 points and driving the ball every time we get it, it's got to be pretty good.
Yeah, we've been in Potosi territory every single possession tonight, so very, very successful night for the offense, and the defense has held them at bay as well. So good overall team effort by St. John as they look to get back in the win column tonight and even their record at 2-2 going into Fredericktown next week. Got 1 minute and 24 left here in the 3rd quarter. Aiden drops back, looks to throw, throws over the middle, and that's to Buad, a little bit overthrown. Caden ran a little slant route, a little bit shallower than Aiden was expecting.
2nd and 10 now for St. Genevieve.
Miss the sidelines at all, Coach?
I do a little bit. You know, when I first became AD and I went to our game against Dexter, I looked down and everybody's down there coaching. I felt like my friends were down there playing without me. But it didn't take long. I started to kind of get over that a little bit. And sometimes it's kind of nice just to watch and not have to coach.
Yeah, what I always tell people when they ask me that question, it's nice to be able you root for the kids when you see it from this angle. Whereas when you coach, you're constantly nitpicking and you only see what the kids do wrong, and you just look past what the kids do right all the time. And like you said earlier with the refs, 90% of the time they do what they're supposed to do. But as a coach, a lot of times you forget to give credit for that stuff because you're so focused on that 10% to try to make them better and
striving for perfection.
Yeah.
But it's also important as a coach to remind yourself that you've got to praise them and let them know when they do something well. Because if it is all just negative all the time, then that's all the kids hear.
McBride on the carry gets it back to the original line of scrimmage.
And I think you get so focused as a coach, everything's about the team and the team and the team. And you know, now from up here, you see individual players' performances, and you can really kind of appreciate that more. It's still about the team, and you still want to see team success, but it's easier to appreciate individual successes as well.
Absolutely.
We got trips to the
Could
right.
be the final play of the quarter here. Probably will be.
And they're going to look to that weak side again where they've been going all day, and that's going to be complete.
Boy.
And that is Zach Boyer,
Wow.
and that is going to number number 5 for Zach Boyer. Aiden Boyer to Zach Boyer. That's one whale of a game for a quarterback-receiver combination right there.
That's a lot of touchdown passes, and that's a lot of touchdown receptions. And like I said earlier, Zach Boyer is a weapon, and right there he just used his strength. I mean, he had to kind of fight his way through that defender there to make that catch and then get in the end zone, and he did a great job.
And the kick by Schwent. Oh, Bryant of all ones to miss. The one to make it a running clock.
Missed extra point of the evening.
We still love you, Bryant, but
With 29 and some
that would have been a nice one to have.
Change left here in the third quarter. St. Genevieve 41.
29 seconds left here, and it's 41-7. Dragons are doing a good job of finishing drives this half. The first 3 drives they scored pretty easily to go up 21-0, and then it just kind of stalled out and only scored 1 touchdown in the second quarter. And of course, Potosi scored their touchdown in the second quarter, so it looked like the second quarter was completely different, very evenly matched, and was interesting to see what they were going to do coming out in the second half, especially getting the ball first. And Dragons have done a good job. We've scored on both drives we've had this half, and you know, like you said, the 5th touchdown pass from Aiden Boyer to his cousin Zach Boyer, and that's impressive.
It's I don't even know what I was going to say. Still frustrated that we missed that PAT. After getting home at 11:45 last week, I was really hoping for that running clock.
It's hard for me to be mad at Brian. I've coached him since he was 7 years old, and he is a pleasure to be around. And but I am still a little bit mad that he didn't make that.
I love the kid to death. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely. Oh boy.
Oh, good return there. He got back to midfield. Nice job. That was Bryant that actually made that tackle. And what in the world? That flag came in. Looks like Thomas O'Brien and number 32 were a little mixed up there. I don't know
who that was on. Looked like there was a hit. They were mouthing a little bit down here too. Well, our kid and their kid were mouthing, but I don't know if that's what they threw it on or if they threw it on a hit.
I don't know, but he came from that flag came from the sideline on the complete
Personal foul
opposite
on us.
side of the field. That will not sit well with the coaching staff, I'm sure. That's not what you want to see when you're up by 34 points.
No. Never a good time for that.
Got some score updates here for you. We got Hillsborough up 42-7 over North County. Yeah, Hillsborough's pretty dang good. They got one loss on the season, and that was the Jackson, and Jackson's a juggernaut. So they're a really strong team. Farmington's up big over Rittenhour. Valley still 42-7. Oh, that's a final. That game's over already.
Wow.
We got Festus. Sorry, that's not Festus.
Oh boy.
Ball intended for number 5, Gavin Pinson. Good pass to Pinson.
That was a good play by
Number 3,
Jaden Reinhardt, but he
was almost
knocked it down, but he almost tipped it to him.
Almost an interception, then it was almost a big completion.
Yeah. 15.2 left here in the quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Trojans at midfield after a very good kickoff return that got compounded a little bit by a penalty.
Pistol formation, 2-by-2, and here's a run up the middle.
Oh, boy.
Had him in the
Did you see
backfield,
that
spun
spin
out
move?
of there. And he's going to get all the way down inside the 5, and he's going to score. Whew. Man, he just left somebody in the dust in the backfield. A little jump cut, spin move, and that backside really opened up, and he was gone. He is fast. 3 seconds left here in the third quarter, and Potosi's on the board again. Scores currently 41-13 with a PAT pending for Potosi.
The extra point, number 85, Luke Brabham.
Yeah, not good tackling on that play, but also really good move there right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looked like we had him pinned, and
PAT's good.
looked like we had him kind of almost for a loss there at the line of scrimmage, and he just did a little spin move, and out to the side he went.
Just over 3 seconds left in the third quarter.
About a 51-yard run there.
Yeah, right around there. Not what you want to give up late in the quarter with that big of a lead. It's one thing to make them drive the length of the field and use up a lot of clock, but when you give up a big play like that, you give them an opportunity to get back in the game. But we'll see what the offense can do. They've moved the ball really well tonight. Big plays through the air. We'll see if they try to keep it more on the ground with this lead. But I don't know, with the way Potosi's playing, I was really surprised. I thought at halftime they'd come out and make an adjustment on that weak side, and they have not. And St. John continues to go to that single receiver side and that trips or quads formation.
Yeah. We'll see what happens here. I don't know if Potosi onside kicks here. Do you do that when you're down 41-14 with 3 seconds left in the third quarter, or because you're giving if you do and we recover, then you're giving giving us good field.
Right.
And we've been driving the ball and scoring. So
I think the way our offense is playing, I think if you almost have to do it here.
Number 7.
But are you conceding to a loss if you don't onside kick here?
Coleman.
Looks like he is going to onside it over here to your left side on the screen. Right side of the field. Oh.
Does not go 10 yards. So we get the ball on the 49-yard line of Potosi.
Yeah. Made me a little nervous there. Clayton started backing up to like 12 or 13 yards.
How many times do you see a onside kick in high school not go 10 yards?
A lot.
75% of the time?
I saw it the other day in the Mizzou game, too.
Yeah, I saw that, too.
I think it went about 5.
That's not good for a guy who that's all he does at practice all day long.
That's true.
These guys, they're playing other positions, and they probably only kick a little bit here and there and don't practice onside all the time.
Specialty things. Cardinals are up 4-0.
Well, I'll tell you what has happened to the Padres, and I don't want to speak too soon, knock on wood, but those guys are ultra talented.
Right.
I mean, just ultra talented, and started the year out on fire. Looked like the best team in baseball.
Their pitching is just completely collapsed. Their bullpen is awful. But we'll take it.
We will take it.
Cardinals haven't played great by any stretch, but they've played good enough here lately to take over the Reds and the Padres, who can't hardly buy a win. So,
how about J-Happ and Lester and all the criticism that the Cardinals got, including from me, and thought, oh yeah, that's a great move, guys,
right.
And it actually has turned out to be a great move.
Yeah, they've been excellent. The bullpen struggled from time to time, and the offense has definitely been inconsistent, but their starting pitching has been superb the second half of the season. As McBride takes it off the outside, and he's going to get a big gain close to the first down marker. He's going to get about 9 on the play, as he showed a good burst there off the left end.
One thing you cannot say about McBride is that he doesn't run hard. That kid, when he gets the ball, He runs hard.
And when he gets going north and south, he's a pretty fast kid. For as big as he is, he doesn't look like he'd be that fast, foot speed wise.
I think he's a 4.7.
Yeah, he is quick when he gets going north and south.
We do have speed. Our kids have worked hard this year in the weight room. Starting last winter, before we even had Coach Pope hired, our assistants did a tremendous job getting the kids in the weight room and getting them to buy in. And then when we hired Coach Pope, it was just to the next level. And the amount of turnout at 5:45 in the morning all summer long. I mean, would you have done that as a high school kid?
Well, of course, Jeff. I'm committed.
But they were. I mean, their attendance was 50 kids or more, I think, almost every day of the summer. And it has shown in the speed and the strength and the buy-in. When you go to the weight room that much, it means more to you, and it shows.
Yeah, when you go down there, even the conditioning classes that Coach Sherry runs, I have my plan time during that time, so I go down there and talk with Coach Sherry every once in a while, and those kids are flat out busting it, and it's great to see those kids so engaged in conditioning and strength training.
He does a great job motivating them in that class, and like you said, they're down there busting their butt, and they're not doing it on because he's just sitting back and twirling his whistle. He's in there talking to them, encouraging them, giving them goals, and telling them where he wants them to be. And
he lifts with them too.
He lifts with them,
and that makes a difference when the kids can see it firsthand.
We are on the 35-yard line here at the start of the fourth quarter. I would think that the Dragons are probably going to do a whole lot of running, and then as I say that, he drops back to pass, and the pass is to Mason Nix, and looks like he catches the ball, but it's not much of a gain there, if any.
Still going to be a yard short, it looks like.
Number 5, Mason Nix on the catch. On the tackle for Potosi.
First catch of the year?
First catch of the year.
First catch of the year. First varsity catch.
3rd and 1 for St. Genevieve.
Oh, do you run the ball here? I guess you do what the defense gives you, right?
Right. And there you're singled up again on that weak side, but they're going to take the easy route and hand it to Austin, and Austin's going to get 3 yards. I think that's Austin. I can't see through these windows.
That's Austin. Yeah, that's Austin.
Yeah, I was all excited. I got in here, and I was like, oh, these windows come out. And then only every other window comes out, so now we've got all these bars in the way.
Clock is running. First down. Ball on the 33-yard line now.
Little screen pass to Zach, little jailbreak. They've had a lot of success with that play tonight, but that one was nowhere near completion.
Incomplete. 2nd and 10.
11 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. 41-14 lead. Still got dreams of punching this in, going for 2, and getting that 35-point lead, Coach. We're going to get there one way or the other.
I would take it. Do you do that, though? Do you go for 2?
Oh, I think any coach understands that move at that point. And a lot of times if you're down by 34 or 33, you almost kind of appreciate that move.
Yeah.
At that point, you just don't want to get any kids hurt, and that eliminates that, or doesn't eliminate it, but it reduces that possibility because you're going to cut the number of plays in half.
Right. And both teams are in that boat where they don't want to get anybody hurt, so get the game up, get that clock rolling, and get the game over with, and move on and start looking forward to next week.
I hear Fredericktown's beautiful this time of year. Looking forward to heading down there.
You know, as long as it's dry, I don't mind going to Fredericktown, but there's been times I've gone there to watch and even coach, and it's just terrible when it's wet.
Were you still coaching that year as Boyer's pass falls incomplete? That's going to bring up 4th down. Were you coaching that year when it was like a monsoon, and it was during a Cardinal playoff game, and it was an opening game of – it was either a district championship game or the opening game of playoffs? and we had to go down there and play.
Was it ankle deep on the
Yes.
sidelines? I was an AD. It was
It
maybe
had
my
to be
first year.
It had to be your first or second
Yeah.
year. But we were all in galoshes and rain suits,
it was
and it
awful.
was just miserable.
You couldn't read anybody's number on their uniform. It was awful.
There was about 10 inches of standing water on the sidelines. They had it all strawed, and by about 3 minutes
Yeah.
into the game, you couldn't see a stitch of straw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we win that game?
We won.
We won that
We
game.
won pretty handily, but that was Fredericktown had some good teams back then. They ran that Coach Gibbs offense foot to foot and ran that counter tray, counter waggle stuff, and they were pretty good, but they were not as good as we were that night because we won by quite a bit.
I tell you what, they had a team one year, and Sawyer was their running back. I couldn't tell you who any of the other players were that year, but I remember Sawyer was their running back. And they probably only ran about 5 total plays, 5 different plays, I should say. And counter waggle, power, sweep, very basic plays, but they were just so good at it that they scored. And they were the same way defensively. They ran one coverage and one base defense, and they were just so good at it. They were big and strong, and I remember when he was a senior, they beat us, and we had a good team that year.
Yep, 4-4 cover 3, and then on offense they ran a tight end, split end, wing back, and just counter tray, dive, counter waggle, over and over and over again.
We used to run that counter waggle, if you remember, and then Bobby Weiler, the offensive coordinator at the time, started doing a tight end release off of it, where they blocked for a count of 2 and then released off of it, went out into the flats, and man, we had a lot of success throwing to the tight end, going off of that counter waggle.
There's a reverse rollout there by Aiden as he gets out to the edge, and he throws to the sideline, and that's going to be complete. And sorry you couldn't see that because the bar is right in the way, but
Did he call it complete?
Short completion there, but I don't think it's not going to be a first down.
It doesn't make any difference.
Matter. So that'll be first down for Potosi. 41-14. There's still 10 minutes left, so it's obviously still a big gap, but it's not completely out of range here. But Potosi's really struggled trying to throw the ball. Most of their success tonight has come from running number 8 and letting him make plays and break tackles.
Boy, not much time went off the clock that drive. It's 10:14 left here.
As long as it's not 10:14 on the clock. It's not far off, though, 9:30. And there's a snap early, and quarterback, little miscommunication in the backfield. I think it's because the snap came early. The back was not ready for it. And again, we're behind that pole, but didn't miss much there. A short gain on the play, gain of about 4 for Potosi. Yeah, these two games, lengthwise, kind of remind you of back in the 2008 season but the only difference was in those games there was usually a combined score over 100 points back in the Corey Faulkner spread offense days.
I just got a text message from somebody. It says, yeah, Fredericktown is pretty nasty when it's wet, and it's a picture of, I don't know what year this is, but it's us playing Fredericktown. We got white jerseys, and they're just covered in mud here. I don't know who sent that to me. If you'll text me there and say who that is. But it looks like a picture of one of the many games we've had over there where it has been muddy.
I'm getting all kinds of critiques about this window being in the way. We've been in the same spot of the field. Everybody's complaining because apparently this person says the UV rating of the window is .66. I'm not sure what that means, but apparently it's capable of keeping the sun out. I don't think these windows have been washed in probably
quite a long time.
Probably about 6 years.
That was Clayton Cox that sent that picture to me. Thank you, Clayton. That he would have played one of the years, obviously, where it was a mud bowl. And
Clayton Cox
Clayton
graduated
Cox.
2011, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Unless it's the former teacher. It might be the former teacher.
No,
Who knows?
no, it is the former player.
Oh, 2010, says Justin Roth.
2010. He would have been the same class as Corey Faulkner, Dustin Knoll, Josh Meyer,
No.
that group.
No.
Right?
Once again,
Oh, the next year. Okay, he was a junior that year. Okay, he was a junior.
It all runs together.
It does.
When you've been in this business as long as Coach Nix and I have,
It does.
You see kids out and you try to place them and what year they graduated and who their friend groups were and everything, and it's just everybody lumps together. And in this town, it's good to see that you got kids from different generations. Now they're hanging out together. I played in a golf tournament last weekend. I saw kids that spanned about 12 years all in the same group, and really fun to catch up with guys that you once coached and get to talk with and socialize.
Good coverage there by the secondary. And almost a pick there. Right through the hands of Clayton Squires, but great coverage. The quarterback wanted to throw, and couldn't. And then when he did, it almost got picked off. And now it's 4th and 16. They're on their own. They're on their own 20-yard line. And at this point, you just got to punt the ball away here if you're Potosi and concede.
And Justin Yemnich, you're just going to have to deal with this window until this punt's over because I can't do anything about it. And good punt there by Potosi. Nobody back for St. John as they were playing it safe, looking for the fake just in case. And it's going to roll dead about the 26-yard line of St. John.
By number 14 for Brady Williams.
So St. John will take over with 9 minutes and 10 seconds left. See if we can run a little bit of clock here, maybe get a few first downs and sort of speed this game up a little bit and not give Potosi another chance to cut into this lead.
Not sure here if St. John's going with starters still. Looks like Potosi is.
Looks like we got the second team line in for sure. I can finally see the action again. I don't have to look through this awful window, as can you guys at home.
Not sure. Who do we have there at quarterback? Who is number 26? Evan Winters? 14?
14
is quarterback, 26 is the running back. So Winters hands off there to number 26.
Good run. Looks like we're going to get a hold there, though, on the middle of the offensive line.
Can't do that, guys.
Flag on the play.
Looked like they threw it towards the right tackle. We got Vaughn in there at tackle. We got Schweigert in there at left guard.
Hayden Ford got the ball there and broke a tackle in the backfield and ended up getting maybe a yard or two out of it, but penalty is going to bring them back.
Yep, Potosi's going to take the penalty. 1st and 15.
So it ended up being some sort of procedure call, not a hold, even though the flag came in from the ump.
And it was also really late for it to be a procedure.
I wonder if
and that you usually blow it dead.
I wonder if it was
offense.
A snap violation, maybe, that it came right in the middle of the field like that. It's a little direct snap there to Winters.
Flag on the play.
Another flag. Winters back for a loss of about 7.
The St. Genevieve running back, number 14 into the game now, Evan Winters. Zane West, but again,
I didn't see what the signal was there.
I didn't either.
Oh, here he goes again. Illegal procedure.
Declined.
It's going to be declined as he lost more yards than that anyway. So
get that clock going then, right?
Hopefully. Don't snap it so soon, boys. Still have 20 seconds on the play clock. There's a little counter play. That's Hayden Ford. He gets a
Ball carried
decent
by
gain
number
there of about
26,
5
Hayden
yards.
Ford.
And that's going to bring
Nice
up
yardage on the
4th
play.
and long. Sorry, 3rd and long. Be about 3rd and 18, it looks like.
52, Wyatt Knapp. On the tackle from his line.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Weiss, anytime that you play
now
Potosi in the past several years, you just don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if we're going to win, if we're going to lose. Sometimes we go to overtime with these guys. I had a great overtime win against these guys 2 years ago here.
That was an awesome game.
That was a great game. It was really fun, and you just never know what to expect because Potosi's a physical team. They've always got quick kids, but tonight it's been pretty dominating on St. Genevieve's part, especially offensively. Like you said, every drive has been on into Potosi territory, and it shows with 41 points. And Dragons have played a great game, and they needed this, as we said earlier, with the three teams that we've played so far. It's been tough. It's been very physical. It's been tiring, exhausting, and they needed this tonight. And it's good to see them come out with the win. Punt team is on here. First team offense punting the ball here.
And he gets it away, and it's going to bounce at about the 45, picked up by Potosi as he comes to the near sideline here. He's going to get the corner.
He is
and
fast.
He gets all the way to the 30, to the 23-yard line. We're almost back to the original line of scrimmage, so a net gain of only 3 yards on that punt by St. John. And this is
He is fast.
not great. I think we may see the first team offense back on the field next time to try to salt this game away.
Looks like Potosi's got their first team offense in here. Number 7 is still quarterback, and number 8 is still running back. So they're going to try to make it closer than what it is right now, Coach.
Timeout, Potosi.
Yeah, you want to get those kids reps, definitely. You want to get kids in the game that haven't been in the game and that have been working hard in practice. But it's kind of a catch-22. You know, if they're going against first units, it makes it tough. But they'll be better for getting the reps, that's for sure. But first we got to get out of this game, hopefully injury-free and without giving up too much more to Potosi.
Very true, very true. We got a homecoming week coming up in a couple of weeks here. Are you excited for that as one of our Stuco sponsors? I know that's a long and very, very busy week for you, but it's fun when it's all said and done.
It is. It's nice to see the kids actually, back in school and get to enjoy each other, and they kind of get to do things. They put on a party for each other, and to see them, put the work in and then see the fruits of their labor, it's always fun. As the handoff goes to the outside, and he's going to get a gain of 9, just short of the first down. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1 with just under 7 minutes to go in the game. Looks like they're going to stop it for, I thought it was a measurement, but I think, is that Henson?
I hope this is not Henson. At this point in the game, you hope that this is not Henson. Tonight he's their best player. I don't know if he's their best player every night, but tonight he is.
Watching on film, he's definitely, he's a all-conference caliber player. There's no doubt about that. He's special and something to watch, and you hope that it's nothing serious. It's going to keep him out for multiple weeks.
Well, and this may make a decision for the Potosi coaches here that they say, you know what, second team, you're in. It would for me.
Yeah.
It looks like he's okay. He's jogging, a little limp jog, but it's a jog, so it looks like he's going to be okay.
Over to the sideline.
Glad to see that. He's a good player, and you never want to see anybody get hurt, but a kid that is the caliber he is, you want him to be able to play.
Looks like it's a shoulder. He's kind of
yes, it
like
is.
A collarbone, either shoulders out of socket or collarbone injury.
That'll put you out for a while.
I think the way he's acting, it might be a dislocated shoulder. Hopefully. Hopefully it's not a broken collarbone.
Yeah.
Not that a dislocated shoulder is great.
No,
Yeah,
neither one of those are.
They're trying to pop his shoulder back in right now. Oh, nice pass and catch. Right over the outside shoulder. Whew.
Holy cow.
Mason had really good coverage on that play, and he just dropped that in the bucket.
Acrobatic leaping grab.
Wonderful catch there.
Touchdown, Trojan.
Jumped up and fully extended with one hand. Brought it down into his other hand and scored a touchdown there.
Number 85, Luke Brabham.
So that's going to make it 41-20. So now we're down to a 3-possession game here as they go for the extra point to bring it to within 20 points. I'm sure an onside kick is upcoming.
It is up. It is through.
41-21 now the score.
6:37.
6.5 left, and I'm sure we're going to see the first team offense on the field.
Yeah, you kind of have to, don't you?
Yeah, you always hate to go back, but, you know, in this situation, you turn the ball over, have a quick 3 and out, and they scored. Suddenly you're looking at a 2-possession game, and with onside kicks and everything else, you never know what might happen.
Well, the Dragons are at Fredericktown next week, as we mentioned before. That's an away game for us, and followed by Park Hills at home, October, 1st or 2nd?
1st.
October 1st, and homecoming is the week after that against Perryville.
And again, if you're watching and you graduated in a year that ends in 1 or 6, we'd love to hear from you. We're missing about 5 classes yet that have not registered for the parade. So if you are especially class of 96, class of 01, class of 06, those are the 3 most recent classes that have not registered. We'd love to hear from you. We want to see every reunion class represented in the parade. There are a couple classes from the 0s and 5s. 1990s, one of them off the top of my head, that's going to participate since we lost the parade last year. So if you're in one of those classes, you're welcome to attend as well, but definitely looking for the reunion classes that end in 1 and 6.
Homecoming is always a fun time of year. There's a lot going on, and it's a very busy time for a lot of people, but it is fun. It's stressful even for a lot of people, but in the end, it's memories for these kids that will last forever, and that's what it's all about. That's why we do it.
And for us as teachers, it's you know, it's always great to see so many kids that you've had in the classroom and have coached on the field. And they come back and you get to see them, and they get to share stories and tell you about, you know, what's going on at college, or tell you about having their first kid, or about their wedding that's coming up and all that good stuff. And it's great to see how these kids leave us and grow up and do great things in the community, and a lot of times our community. And it's just really cool.
Yes, it is. It's this is my 21st. This is probably your 19th? 18th. We've both been around for a long time, and we got great kids year in and year out. They're a blast to be around, and homecoming is one of the most fun weeks of the year. I look forward to it.
This was the year for me, Coach. This year I've got 3 kids that I taught their parents.
3
kids.
Wow.
Never had it before this year. I've got 3 this year. So I'm officially OG.
I need to sit down sometime and look throughout the district and see how many employees we have that were either former students or former athletes of mine during my 21 years. But I know it's double digits, and I'm betting it's in the high 20s. I mean, there's a ton of former students that work for us now.
You know, a couple years ago when Chris Werner retired, we put that video together for Chris for his retirement, and to see all those employees, I don't know if you remember the ending of that video, where all the people that Chris had taught that were working in the district. It was amazing. I bet there was probably 40, 50 employees Ooh. As Winter's still in the game, second team offense still out there
Quarterback number
against
14,
Potosi's
Evan Winters, back to pass.
first team, I guess. No, they did
Tackled
take their
by
first team
number-
out.
And sacked by number 16, JT Cross. Second
So it
and
looks like we got
22
twos on
now
twos
for
now
St. Genevieve.
with 6 minutes left in the game. There's Ford going on the outside. Good cuts there by Hayden.
It's a good job. I think it was 2nd and 22 there, and he got about 9 of those back, maybe. No, not quite 9, but
31-yard line.
it's now 2nd and 15. So
3rd and 15 now.
3rd and
for the
15.
Dragons.
Sorry, 3rd and 15.
2-by-2 formation here. Winters at quarterback.
This is a tough situation for second team to come into, because you know they're going to be running the ball, so the defense can pin their ears back and come right after you if they want to. And
Well, and this is a decision that's made a lot harder for coaches too, with the way things are now and numbers across the board being down. A lot of teams don't have lower level teams. You don't see a lot of JV and freshman teams anymore. And you know, if you want to get these kids playing times to get them reps, you almost got to put them in situations like this and learn the hard way.
it's fourth down on our own 30-yard line. It looks like we're going for it or punting it, one or the other, with our second team, which that could be it. Winters may punt this ball. Looks like he will. The old quick punt.
Ooh, good roll.
That is a good roll, and just don't touch it.
Ball rolls to a stop.
Let that clock run until he blows his whistle.
Remember back in the day
Potosi will take over there.
when, as assistant coaches, we were usually put in charge of the special team units, and it never failed. No matter how many times you would tell kids to stay away from the ball if you were on the receiving team and you didn't field it, there was always at least one guy that would be within 2 yards of the dang ball every single time. Like,
No
get
doubt.
away, get away, get away.
And they were
would
right
just,
there.
They just stand there and watch it. Like, what are you doing? Never failed. It was
Never
always
failed.
one. Always one.
And it was almost never the same kid each time.
Otherwise you'd take them off. But
Yeah.
it was always somebody different.
Oh, good play there. Good. Oh,
Gage Mosier carries the ball.
Well, Yammy, your window's
Taken down
back in
by
play,
number
buddy.
54, Corey Crump. Also in on the tackle, number 3, Jaden Reinhardt. And number 31, Gabe
So
Willing.
that's going to bring up a second down and not second and
for
two.
Potosi.
They haven't moved the stick yet. 2nd and 2 after a gain of 8. And low snap there. Confusion in the backfield, but quarterback takes off, and he's fast. Got some speed. He's going to get ahead for about 10 yards.
Davis on the carry. Good enough for the first down. Takes it up over midfield.
And this score is going to end up being pretty deceiving here, as it's right now a 20-point game with Potosi on the move. But St. John was in firm control of this game until they took their first unit out of the game.
10.
Little rollout, pass over. Ooh, that thing came out like a
Pass
Knuckleball.
short and incomplete. Intended for number 16.
it's like a vertical helicopter.
JT Cross. Second down for Potosi. Clock stops.
you hate to see that because those passes, those incomplete passes, because it just stops that clock.
Yeah.
But it just gives the second team guys on both teams a little bit more time to get some plays in and get some reps. And they sit on the bench, and they deserve to play, and they deserve the time. So
Yeah, they've worked hard too in the off season, and they work hard on scout team every week. So
absolutely.
it's good as a coach to be able to throw them a bone and get them some varsity minutes, and a lot of these kids will learn varsity letters before the season's over. So It's good for them.
It's so important to have these guys too, because they, like you said, scout team offense, scout team defense. You can't plan without them, or it's very difficult to plan without them, and they're important. And any coach will tell you that.
Oh, tripped up in the backfield, kind of accidentally, but we'll take it.
Carried by number 85, Luke Brabham.
I think Aiden White stuck his foot out there and got him to trip over it, and that's a easy way to get yourself a tackle there in the backfield. That's a greener.
Fourth down coming up for Potosi.
That's a greener. Do we do greeners anymore?
We do greeners. I don't know what the criteria is, how many yards you have to have, or tackles or touchdowns or whatever. With the new coaching staff, I'm not sure what it is, but they do still give them out.
Oh, that ball is fumbled a little bit by the quarterback, and again, White's back there.
And Macklin Davis on the carry. Sacked by number 85 or 75, excuse me, Walker Lawson. And St. Genevieve
I think he was looking at the wrong team. We do not have a Walker Lawson.
No, he did that earlier too. Said not tackle by number 2 and named their number 2.
So St. Gen takes back over with under 2 minutes left, so they should be able to kneel the ball, assuming that Potosi doesn't use their timeout, which they should not here. I think. Hopefully they will. Unless Coach Pope wants to get him some reps here. Looks like he's backing up the running backs here, so they're protecting in case of a bad snap. Evan Winters will take a knee.
He's a little deep there. I hope the center knows he's 7 yards back there.
Yeah, he's almost in a punting situation,
Yeah.
which is probably why the snap was at his ankles.
Got to move up a little bit. You got those 2 guys behind you there. There's a reason why they're there.
You know, back about 15 years ago, Mizzou was running that spread, and they did this one time.
2nd and 15.
And the world went irate because they couldn't get under center. And now you see teams do this all the time because nobody runs under center anymore.
It used to be a penalty.
Yeah.
If you kneeled the ball from shotgun, it was a penalty. You had to go under center. Not sure when they changed that. I think it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
It's enough to kill team rushing stats, but where's Jade Reinhardt going?
Going long.
He was going to run the Park Hills play.
You're the only one that can bring that up because your brother was the coach when that happened.
It still comes up at the house every once in a while.
Oh, man. Corey's got himself a good team over there this year. Which is not unusual. They've been good for a while now, but man, offensively they are really good.
Yeah, he has said he's on record as saying that this is their best offensive team they've ever had. So they're going to be tough to stop, but they've also had some difficulty on defense, or at least one game they did. So.
Well, I think that was against the number 2 team
right.
in Class 4, so that's going to happen. They also scored 52 points or something like that. So
that will be your ball game.
And that's going to bring us to the end of the game tonight. And we want to thank Coach Nix for coming up here, so you didn't have to listen to me drown on about all my stories from my past. But thank you, Coach. Appreciate you coming up. You are always welcome.
Well, I appreciate it. I had a good time, and glad I could help out.
All right, and the final score tonight of the game is, and fittingly, the scoreboard's right behind the pillar too, but final score 41-21 St. Gen over Potosi. St. Gen goes to 1-0 in the MAFC White Division. Potosi drops to 0-1. Next week, St. Gen takes on Fredericktown. Potosi will take on Park Hills. And we will not be able to bring you that game. We do have a volleyball game on Tuesday against Saxony. We'll bring you that game on SG Dragon TV. And then we'll be back for football in 2 weeks when we host Park Hills Central. So for Coach Jeff Nix, this is Kyle Schweiss. Thank you for watching, and you've been watching SG Dragon TV.